This is my perennial project. Never done, but it's always enough. I love to tinker and I love working with my hands. Around 2012, I stumbled on the blog Nacho Drive, and that really just lit a fire in me. And from then, I really wanted to get a camper van. After some deep research, I decided that a 4x4 Sprinter would be the perfect platform for me to build a family adventure rig, and came across one that wasn't too far away. It was about 3 hours from home. And around Thanksgiving of 2020, went out and took a look and bought it on the spot. My wife and I decided to go all in on what was a shell of a camper van. So this is a 2016 Mercedes Sprinter 4x4, 2500, low roof, and it's been perfect for us. The low roof offers a smaller package, but it also makes it much more nimble and capable in the cities. And so that way we could use it for long road trips, but I can also use it as my daily driver. What's nice about the low roof is that I can fit into most, if not all, drive-throughs and even some parking garages. And with that shorter 144 wheelbase, it's not terrible to drive through the cities. The plan was never to be full-time van lifers. We love where we live, and we really enjoy building out our homestead here in the Texas Hill Country. But what the van offers is the ability to go on very long and ambitious road trips. I think we've covered 150,000 miles with the van, 33 states, 2 Canadian provinces. Road tripping is a much different kind of travel than air travel. And so we're able to take our time. And really, we've learned to take our time with these road trips. We've found that you can cannonball run it, but it's not enjoyable, and that it's really much more satisfying to be able to take our time, smell the roses, stop off at unique mom and pop restaurants, find unique coffee shops. And we've gotten to camp out in some really cool places. You know, we've done Fort Wilderness at Disney. We've camped out in Brooklyn on the water. Even here in our backyard, we've hit some really cool spots like Bastrop State Park, Palo Duro, Amarillo State Park, Big Bend. I don't think we would have been able to get out and see those other parts of Texas if it wasn't as easy as just loading up the van and heading out. I often joke that the van is never done, but always enough. And we've really embraced that philosophy since day one. When we bought it, and it was just a straight shell of a cargo van, it's been just such a wonderful adventure. Taking an idea that was in my head, sketches that I had on paper, and to build out the van in the vision that I had with input from my family of what makes the most sense. And then to iterate on that, you know. I think we're on approximately version 5 of the van layout. And it was a growth moment for me where I had put the time and energy into those early version 1, version 2 layouts of the van, and then quickly realized that, for example, having 2 opposing benches with top opening lids that were underneath the bed just didn't make sense for us. It looked really cool on paper. It was very photogenic in my opinion. However, once we were underway, it was impossible to get to anything. You know, we'd make the bed, and I had this really cool system where the middle of the bed would pop up and turn into a table. And it just didn't make sense, especially with young children, to keep changing the bed from bed mode into table mode. And so to abandon that was a growth moment for me of recognizing that it didn't serve us and that it was impractical, and then to quickly abandon that design and move on to the next one. Which brings me to where it is today. You know, during the build out, I put a lot of emphasis on comfort, both driving and camping. And so even with a low roof, I really wanted it to be easy to move around on the inside. And so with each version, got better with thoughtful gear storage, access to snacks and road trip essentials. As an example, the cabinet behind the kids' seats houses standard extra large milk crates. And that's where we keep all of our food, our snacks, our dry goods. You know, for the kids, we've got seat back organizers. We have the cubbies underneath the seats. And then throughout the van, I've built in 12-volt chargers. And that's for iPads, camera gear, flashlights. I really don't like buying products now that don't have USB-C. And that way we can keep everything charged. One of the first and best investments that we made was getting premium mattresses. And so started off with the one in the back for my wife and I. And then when we had the GTRV pop top installed, also went back to the same company and had, as thick as we could get mattress made. And it makes a world of difference. But it's very cozy, it's very comfortable, and we joke that we sleep better in the van than in hotels. This is my hand-built van. GTRV installed the pop top, and Adrenaline Vans installed the RE Smart Floor. But beyond that, it's really been me in the driveway, pulling in the family, getting them involved, but as a family, we've built it out. Even with the power system was something that I was a little bit more tentative about, and I really wanted to get right. I asked a company, Noma, to build me out a schematic, and they did a really good job. And then I linked up with Sam Moser from Moser Makes, and side by side, we put it in together. And so I was hands-on with that, and I really appreciated him being alongside me and showing me how to do it in a thoughtful, clean, well laid out manner. And it's one of those things that it probably would have taken me months to try and figure out how to do it just as cleanly as we were able to do together with his knowledge and his competence and skill set when it comes to it. But again, the van is hand built by me and my family. Getting heat was one of the easiest things in the van, but planning out the air conditioning system was probably the most complicated, primarily because I had to plan it out hand in hand with the power system. And so just trying to figure out how all those wires and tubes were going to snake through the van, making sure that they were going to clear the bed and the chairs, and how was I going to enter through the floor in order to get shore power and in order to get to the condenser unit. That was the biggest challenge and really froze me for a good period of time. The air conditioner is a split unit system, so 80% of the components live underneath the van, keeps the roof clean and clear, and then inside we have the blower unit. And then that plugs into an 826 amp hour battery bank system. And so we've got four 206 amp hour batteries, lithium batteries from SOK, and then all of the power control system is, I think, almost entirely Victron. And trying to figure out how to balance everything and where it was going to live and how it was going to be safe and accessible was really just a huge puzzle, but also one of the most satisfying things to really just push through, to say, we need this air conditioner, not just for sleeping at night, but also just for driving around through Texas in the middle of the heat. And now we can get into some of those more hot regions, and to really just elevate the comfort and bring it from something that we could use 3-season and into a true 4-season camper. Pushing through that project and solving that puzzle was really that last piece where it brought the van from feeling very prototype to a place where I felt like I could finish it out. And so upholstering the walls, painting all of the raw plywood, and then where the blower sits above the foot of the bed, building out a shelf system where we've got cubbies on either side and putting louvered vents on there, adjustable vents. And I really feel like once that piece of the puzzle was in place, the rest of the van, especially the interior, really fell into place. And we really try and embrace the philosophy of living out of the van as opposed to living inside of the van. So out of the trunk slides our camp kitchen, and that way we can actually take the entirety of the camp kitchen out off of the drawer that it's built on and set it up as a separate dedicated campsite. We've got a 2-burner system. I've got all my pots and pans. It keeps any spills and any smells and any vapors outside of the van. So it does limit us a little bit on, if the weather hits, we really can't pull it out and cook in weather. So we have to make other plans under those circumstances. But for the way that we road trip and the way that we travel, it really works well for us. And then on the other side, opposing the camp kitchen, the other drawer that comes out is our storage cases. And so those are 2 large volume aluminum Zargs cases, and we keep camp gear in there. We keep duffel bags, camera gear, ski boots, ski helmets, jackets, things of that nature. And I'm really happy with the way that that turned out with that 2-drawer garage system. I think one of the most rewarding parts of this process is that in building out the interior of the van, working with different tools and really expanding my knowledge base around production, it gave me the opportunity to design and manufacture my first product. And so I realized that when I had pulled out my spare tire out from underneath the van, when I stepped up to an oversized wheel and tire, I had need for additional storage. And with the oversized spare moved to a rear tire carrier, I had the opportunity to design a made in America universal mounting platform. And so, that is the birth of the TLS Stowaway, of the Travelynn Solutions Stowaway, which is a universal mounting platform that lives underneath the van, especially for things that you want to have at hand, but you don't want inside the van. So for me, I keep 2 cans of diesel fuel underneath there in fuel packs. And then I also have a sealed junction box that I can keep additional fluids in there, like brake fluid and power steering fluid and some hoses. Things that I really want to have available to me, but I don't necessarily want to have inside the vehicle. And the whole process of building the TLS Stowaway taught me a significant amount about designing, launching, and now moving into marketing my first physical product. So I'm really excited to share it with you. I really appreciate you watching. And I've got some really cool trips planned, especially one that I'm hoping to get to at the end of the year. But it would be really cool if you were to come along for the ride. So I'd invite you to subscribe to the channel and follow along as I post more of our stories and more of the interviews of some really cool people that we've met along the way. Appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next video.